Hey everybody, it's Mont Blanc. If you're new here, I'm a Gen 2 K-pop veteran who hasn't listened to K-pop in over a decade. I'm back from the grave though, and I'm trying to learn about the new scene by seeing what I've missed over all this time. Today, we're continuing my deep dive into the BTS backlog with a Black Swan reaction. This one was recommended to me in a comment on one of my previous reactions, but I'll admit to also wanting to do it because the thumbnail is just really cool. Hmm. Considering that this was released right before the world went into lockdown, like days before the world went into lockdown, I think it should be a really interesting one, especially in comparison to music videos like Dynamite or Permission to Dance, which were firmly in the COVID era. Let's check it out. So, after taking into account a few comments that I've been getting in my previous videos, I decided to make a few tweaks to my little setup here, and hopefully it makes for a really nice viewing experience. But I really appreciate the suggestions. They're helping me grow and try and create a nicer, more finished, more polished product. So I'm grateful for the suggestions, and I do take into account everything that people are saying. So thank you. Let's get into Black Swan. Oh, beautiful. Wow. Hmm. I'll skip back in just a second, but I think this is a really brilliant use of the diverse background of the members, especially the like modern dance background that Jimin was the one with that background, right? Also, beautiful filming location and the shots where they have the mismatch of the shadows with them on the stage is very fascinating to look at. I like that quite a lot. Oh, see, they're just using him to like his full potential. Well, it's almost like they're creating a music video so that his talents can shine, which would actually be a really cool series of songs or ideas for music videos to kind of give a singular platform to one of the main members. But I like this quite a lot. It's beautiful musically, and also the visuals are very, very stunning. The contrast in the shots between the sparse and almost Spartan close up, like tight lights out shots while they're on the stage versus the pulled out shots and the opulence of the theater is really amazing. And then here you can also see the stark contrast between a simple and clean line of his suit versus these really opulent embellishments with the beads. It's a beautiful consideration for the video. I like it quite a lot. Ah, barefoot. Amazing. Woo. Damn. Wow. I'm just gonna let the last few seconds play out here and then get into it. I think this might be my favorite entry into the BTS catalog that I've seen so far. Musically, it's beautiful. The dancing is stunning. I love contrast. I think it produces dynamism in a lot of like artistic media. And this one has quite a lot of it, between like the simple and the opulent, and also even in their costuming. um, there's this distinct contrast between like tight and buttoned up and formal versus kind of slouchy and relaxed and free flowing. And that's also something that they replicate within the dance itself as well. The singing was amazing, the rapping was amazing, the tempo of the song is beautiful, and like, oh my gosh, there are some beautiful shots in this. Do you know where this was filmed? I would be very curious to know. A stunning location. I mean, with the inside of like concert halls like this, it's kind of hard to tell, but it almost gives like a Austria kind of vibe. Oh, even down to just the like black versus white, right? And then also like the difference between the group shots and the solo shots, and even within the solo shots, the movement of the person on screen versus the movement of the shadows. My favorite shots are probably like these ones where it's just like the two of them in the shot. It's sort of like a free flowing communication of movement, because like the person who's actually doing the singing or the rapping or whatever has the quote unquote job to do within the shot, and then the other one, it provides like a structure that shows like a sort of relational dynamic that is, even just in these small shots, communicated so clearly. Wow. Like, come on. This was amazing. This little solo. Okay, so I definitely have a new favorite from BTS. This music video, and even kind of within the structure of the song itself, it's taking something very simple, like let's take the idea of opposites or perceived opposites, and let's layer that. right? And then you're repeating it in motif over and over and over again. And it creates this really beautiful, like multi-layered, textured visual experience that pushes into so many different areas of artistic expression. Even just if you think about like using the opulent architecture versus those shots of where they're pulled in focus and it's just them under a singular spotlight, that's even playing with the contrast within the architecture of the space, because that's kind of the beauty of these like opulent concert halls, is like it's so stunning and beautiful and ornate everywhere, but then actually people are coming to ignore all of that and be sucked into the performance. And I was definitely sucked into this performance. I have like a kind of vibey playlist that I'm slowly building with my dive back into K-pop, and this one's going in there. It's a beautiful track, and I can't wait to listen to it again. Hmm. Also, kind of interesting to me that, like I said, this is the last music video, like literally days before lockdown. And it's interesting that they just happened to have chosen a theme that definitely could have worked during the lockdown era as well. So, like, in terms of a stark contrast between something like this and then Dynamite, which would have been their next release after the fact, the filming style is relatively similar, but the output is completely different because of like the state the world was in and the state that their fans were in. Mm, really interesting as sort of like a progression as artists, and the way that their music speaks to, has a conversation with the world around them. Mm, yeah, I like this. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this kind of reinvigorated my deep dive into BTS for at least on my end, and I'm super excited to continue on with that. And when I do, of course, I will continue to put these reactions into my BTS Deep Dive playlist, which I'll link here and then also in the video description down below. Maybe checking out the Dynamite reaction that I did would be an interesting jump off place from this video, just because the contrast between the two, more contrast, is really fascinating to see in terms of their growth and progression as artists, especially now that we kind of have like a quote unquote return to form, or yeah, I'll say a return to form. It definitely feels like that with the release of Swim and Arirang. So, mm, yeah, I can't wait to continue all of this, and I hope that you join me. But if not, maybe I'll see you somewhere else. Bye.